So for step 13, attaching the gear differential unit. Well, it's kind of an interesting setup because we're not using any screws or anything, and really we're not attaching it, we're kind of only just placing it because we need this piece right here, which is that little piece right here. That is basically your drive shaft, which is interesting. So that's going to connect the gearbox to your differential unit, and literally that little piece is kind of like the drive shaft connecting everything. Now what you're going to see here is we're back to using rubber cement because they want you to ensure that this doesn't fall out. So the rubber cement's going to help with that. So that's going to go into there, and then the differential unit will sit on this side. This does not need rubber cement. They're only getting you to do it in the other spot. Now the other thing is, you'll notice the placement of this. They really want you to make sure that that is going into the car that way. They're even showing you here that it needs to be sitting like that going into the car. So just make sure that you're putting this in exactly as shown in this diagram. So I'll set this up and we'll put it in. So to start off with, let's grab our rubber cement. Actually, you know what? I won't do it first. Here's what I want to do. I want to grab this drive shaft, and you can see that it's going to fit into the grooves on either side. Doesn't matter which way you put it in, they're both the same. And it's just going to sit inside there just like that. Now, we'll see if this works. I'm going to put some rubber cement on the end here. And hopefully that'll be enough to keep it solid here. You'll see what I mean. So I've made that maybe a bit more too goopy. Just going to wipe some of that off a second here. Now it's all over me, but okay. Just going to wipe my hand here. Now, because of the way this is designed, if I tilt this down, it's going to fall out. So the only way to keep that from falling out is I'm going to have to do this vertically. Now you can see that from the design, it needs to go in that way into that side. Now, because we've put the motor in the top position, it's also not as easy to figure out where that's got to go. So I can tell that the motor, or I should say the connection, the positioning is sideways. So I'm just going to turn this sideways a second. Now what that means is I should be able to slide this through and get it into the right spot, mostly. Maybe I can stick my finger in there. Now, because again, I can't get my finger in there, what I want to do is just make sure that it actually is in the right spot. So I'm actually going to grab this wrench here and see if I can move. I can. See how that piece will move? I don't know if you can see that in there. It will move. Let's try this. I don't know if you see the piece right in the center. I've managed to get it exactly where it needs to go, but if you look at down here, I can move it side to side, but it's in the right position. So it's going to sit just like that. And that's all we have to do, because those pieces that we put on, those outer ones, those are what are actually holding it into the chassis. So I'm going to basically leave it like that, put it to the side, and basically, because this is actually sitting comfortably, it's not going to fall out. As long as I don't tilt it this way, everything will stay together. So I'm just going to leave it like that, and that part is done. So that is literally step 13. So now we can move on to step 14 and attach the rear lower arms.